What's up everybody, today we are going to be comparing the two cheat devices for the NES game console, the Pro Action Replay and the Game Genie. Game Genie modifies the game's ROM, and the Pro Action Replay changes the RAM directly. And this leads to two different methods of creating interesting and helpful cheat codes for many NES games that you love. So for today's video, we are going to be using the game Super Mario Bros. For the NES because it's just very well known. Very understandable. A good example of a game. But anyway, our first cheat code is going to be infinite lives. Now, we have the value right here, Mario's lives 075A. For Pro Action Replay, we simply add the address into this box, 075A. We give it a permanent value. Let's set it to 23. We'll call it infinite lives. Add it. And once we start the game, we have 23 lives. And as you can see here, we will always have the same amount. And we have infinite lives, essentially. That is one pro of the Pro Action Replay. It's a lot simpler to make codes for RAM values. If you just want to freeze something, you just do it right away. Now, for the Game Genie, the process is a little bit more complicated. We're just going to set a breakpoint for 075A. Then we're going to die. And here's the value, 91D9. That is where our life count is changed down. So we're going to take this instruction decrease and change it to something else. Now we could just increase it, which is kind of pointless. We want infinite lives, so we're just going to put it at the accumulator. So we can change CE. So 91D9. We're going to change that to AD, which is a hex code or load to accumulator. Now with this, let's die. And we don't lose anything. So that was just me showing you two different ways to do the same effect on the game using two methods. Two devices, anyway. So the next cheat code I've decided I'm going to make here is to give us a permanent fire flower that we can never lose upon getting hit, because that just sucks. So for Pro Action Replay, we're just going to take the value 0756. That is our power-up state. We're going to set it to 02, which is the fire flower. We add the code, start up the game. That's Small Fire Mario. But yeah, anyway, we have a fire flower that we can never lose. You always have a fire flower. So you can just keep blasting away those bad guys all day long. Until you get bored of it. Also, with this code, enemies can never kill you because your power-up state never changes you to small again. Even though you may look small. Now comes the Game Genie part. That's going to be a lot more complicated, so let's just set a breakpoint for 0756. We're going to write. We're going to reset. Alright, come on. I keep breaking through here. 85B1. I think we need to change this to a value that is always at 02. We're going to set 85B2. We're going to set it to 42. I hope I did that right. Hopefully I didn't break the game. Hey, yeah, that was the wrong value. You may notice that the level looks off a bit, and that's because somehow I accidentally got rid of all of the decorations. Well, we'll find a better value next. Okay, what did I do wrong? We're gonna change B625 to 42, I think, is what we want to do. So let's go into the Game Genie bar. B625 42. Get rid of this breakpoint since sometimes breakpoints glitch out the game for whatever reason. Start the game up. And we have firepower. Now, in the case of the Game Genie code, it doesn't look like we have the fire flower. We just look like regular small Mario. And we do die, actually. So, I mean, you still get the firepower. So this one is actually unrelated to the last one we made, but anyway, this code gives you an extra life for every coin you collect. Now you can see I just died, but I still have 3 lives. Get 2 coins. Die. Now, I have 4 lives. Now if you collect a lot more coins than this, you would get a lot more lives. Now, to be honest, usually when I play Super Mario Brothers, I don't go for the coins very much. They're just very unnecessary. But now you only need 1 coin to get an extra life. Just look at how many lives I have when I die. I don't even know what number that is, but that's a lot of lives. This code will mess with all of the sprites. This just looks ridiculous. I don't even know what is going on here. For some reason, the screen is confused as well. This next code will get rid of all of the enemies in your way. Now you can enjoy each level in peace without being killed by bad guys. Now, personally, I think the bad guys are pretty fun to deal with, but if you don't like them, then you can get rid of them. This next code is very interesting. It replaces all of the power-ups with stars. So now, anytime you get a mushroom, instead, you will just be smashing through all of the enemies. This code is just pretty funny to mess with. Yep, Koopas replace all power-ups. This is great to give to a friend as a prank when they're playing the game. Every time they get a power-up, they get a turtle. Koopas. And more Koopas. Now, a code that best represents the pros of the Game Genie is the infamous YEA code that just messes with tons of different things in the game. Power-ups bounce, the screen glitches, all the colors are messed up, the game crashes sometimes. It just doesn't look right. All of the enemies turn into headless Bowsers. Sometimes you fall through bricks. You can't see the world or stage you're on at the top of the screen. Sometimes the screen just pans over strangely. And it froze. It's all very weird and fun, and I don't think you would have the same effect from a Pro Action Replay code. I haven't tried it, it's probably possible, but that is the best thing about the Game Genie as opposed to the Pro Action Replay. You can just have a lot more effects on the game all at once with one Game Genie code. So now I'm going to have to make the difficult decision of telling you which cheat device is better. Now, honestly, it just depends on what type of person you are, because they both change the same amount of addresses in the ROM and RAM, respectively, but the Game Genie is more complicated to make codes for. You usually need to know how to use a debugger, how to use a hex editor, and how to understand NES assembly. But if you're using Pro Action Replay, it's fairly simple to make many codes for that have pretty useful effects. But honestly, I think I'm more of a Game Genie guy because the Game Genie allows you to modify RAM values in much more, let's just say, intense ways, because you can have a value change constantly, and it can really mess up the game in funny ways, as you've seen in this video. But anyway, if you're a more simple person, and you don't want to deal with computers and programming, just go with Pro Action Replay. Unless you're using a physical console, because the Pro Action Replay is just really hard to get your hands on. I mean, they do sell them online, but at pretty ridiculous prices that I personally would not be willing to pay up. Thank you guys very much for sticking to the end of this video. Now, I am thinking of trying some new things with my channel, so I might try live streaming, making new Game Genie codes for other games, such as The Legend of Zelda and Metroid maybe. But I'm also thinking of doing a Minecraft Let's Play on this channel. Let me know if you guys think that would be a good idea. And if this video was good or bad, give me some feedback. So, I'll see you in the next video.